From Milwaukee, where Kurt Berglund is asking the musical question, Maggie, why don't you wake up? Rod thinks he's got something to say to you. For crying out loud, it's late September and he really should be back at school. I don't know what your problem is. God. This is Kurt Berglund with another Pine Tar Baseball Negro League's Great Teams set preview and instructional video. That's right. The team tonight, the 1929 Baltimore Black Sox, a team maybe you don't know a lot about, but you will in approximately 12 minutes. You can check out Pine Tar Baseball at ttlbaseballgame.com, ttlbaseballgame.com. The Kickstarter for the Great Negro League's team set is linked below, as is Pine Tar Baseball's webpage. Enjoy the Kickstarter. We need your support. All right. This is team number 9 out of 12. No, I'm sorry. That's not true either. I lied. This is team number 10 out of 12 that we are previewing. It's a 12-team set. The Baltimore Black Sox are in this set because it was definitely a powerhouse of the Negro Leagues, but you may not know a lot about it. This team was ranked number 13 by Jim Riley, who wrote the Biographical Encyclopedia of the Negro Baseball Leagues. It was ranked number 11 all-time by Dick Clark. Not that Dick Clark. The Dick Clark responsible for helping to found the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City. He ranked them number 11. They were first place in the American Negro League in 1929. They were first half and second half champions of the American Negro League. There was no World Series as such in 1929 for them to win. Instead, they did kind of a, all-star game series of games. But this team would have won against any competition in 1929. Tell you a little bit about the team itself. Well, let's talk about 1929 first. In 1929, 6 Chicago mobsters were machine-gunned in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Janet Gaynor, only 23 years of age, and Emil Jannings, a German, won the first Oscars. Thomas Wolfe published Look Homeward, Angel. Pianist and composer Hoagy Carmichael wrote Stardust, reputed to be the most frequently recorded and popular composition of all time. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, and Black Tuesday, October 28, 1929, sent stocks plunging, and the Great Depression began. Against that backdrop, the 1929 Baltimore Black Sox did their work. Let's talk about the American Negro League. In that league, in terms of batting, the Baltimore Black Sox were second in batting average, second in on-base percentage, second in slugging percentage. In terms of pitching, they were first in earned run average, first in whip, but they were fifth, 5th in walk-to-strikeout ratio. I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes. Lots of data on this team, more than 60 league games played. Judd Wilson, their first baseman, who we've seen, or we will see on another team, a couple teams in this set, had his career year at 404 average, 492 on base, 492 on base, and a 621 slugging percentage. Shortstop, Dick Lundy, 352 average, 403 on base, 506 slugging, and, oh boy, maybe the best defensive shortstop in Negro Leagues history. Certainly in the top 3, I would say. Rap Dixon, left fielder and center fielder, hit 415 with a 482 on-base percentage, and he only slugged 722. That's not his OPS, that's his slugging, 722. On the mound, 2 pitchers stand out. One, Layman Yoakley, was 17-8 with a 359 earned run average, and Willis Flournoy, 11-3 with a 348 earned run average. In the set, we've talked about roster sizes for Negro League teams. They were 14 on the low end to maybe 16, 17, 18 on the high end. There was some roster turnover. On the 1929 Baltimore Black Sox, you'll get 19 carded players on this team. They are Layman Yoakley, Script Lee, Willis Flournoy, Red Ryan, Bun Hayes, Bill Force, and Herb Smith on the mound. Position players include Bob Clark, Judd Wilson, Frank Warfield, Oliver Marcel, Dick Lundy, Rap Dixon, Pete Washington, Jesse Hubbard, Buddy Burbage, Nip Winters, the old pitcher, Duke Lattimore, and Margaro Gamiz. All right. Talk about batting orders for this team. Dick Lundy led off at shortstop. Frank Warfield, second base. Batting third, Judd Wilson. Batting fourth, Rap Dixon in left field. Batting fifth, Oliver Marcel. I've seen his name spelled with an E at the end and without an E at the end, so I put it in parentheses for you and you can decide. He's at third base, batting fifth. Jesse Hubbard, batting sixth in right field. Bob Clark, batting seventh and doing the catching. Pete Washington, batting eighth and in center field. And, of course, the pitcher would bat ninth. In this series, we ask 2 important questions of each team. Why will this team win your league or tournament? And then why won't they? They will win this league, your league or tournament, because they're going to be on base an awful lot of the time. And with the slugging they've got, they can run. Dick Lundy was a good base stealer, but they don't need to. Judd Wilson, Rap Dixon, and Ollie Marcel are going to break a lot of teams' backs with slugging percentage, on base, and so on. Bottom third of the order isn't great, but they're going to beat your brains in with the top half, and that's a major factor. If they win, they will win because of their offense. Layman Yoakley had a brief but impressive Negro Leagues career. Unfortunately, he was a victim of a heavy workload as the ace of staffs for the Baltimore Black Sox. And, I don't know, rotator cuff problems, maybe he needed Tommy John. Things started to taper off for him. But in this season, he was very good and used a lot. The difficulty is that after him, the control of some of these pitchers was not that great. And you'll find in these 12 teams, 12 great team tournaments or leagues, however you decide to set them up, small differences will make a big difference. And between these great teams, sometimes a small thing sets some apart from others. And this pitching staff could be wild. And if they walk folks that have good offenses, they could end up paying for it. So the team is going to score runs, but it's looking to me like they're going to give up some runs too. Now, I do want to feature one player in the video for just a minute. His name's Dick Lundy. He's the shortstop. He is the great shortstop of the Negro Leagues between Pop Lloyd and Willie Wells. He is the shortstop of the 1920s. He was in his prime during this period of time. He was also a manager later on, and I guess the thing, the infield that he's with on this team, it was called a $1 million infield. I'm not sure how they got that, but Judd Wilson, Frank Warfield, Dick Lundy, and Ollie Marcel were called the $1 million infield, and they are kind of the centerpiece of this team. Dick Lundy, with the possible exception of Judd Wilson, maybe the best of the four. But this guy was the real deal. John McGraw, the old manager of the New York Giants, said that Dick Lundy was the second best shortstop he'd ever seen behind Honus Wagner. Don't know if he'd ever seen Pop Lloyd or not, but that's very, very high praise if you're putting Dick Lundy in Wagner's company. This is Dick Lundy's team. Rap Dixon, certainly a star. Judd Wilson, certainly a star. But this team makes the great teams because of the strength of Dick Lundy's bat and glove. He was an amazing Negro Leagues player, and the presence of this team in this set, more than anything else, is a tribute to Dick Lundy. Having said that, this team could also do a lot of damage in your league or tournament. Going to be interesting to see how they do. I'll be interested to hear from you about how the 29 Black Sox match up against the other teams. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight. My name's Kurt Berglund. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. Check out the Kickstarter linked below in the video description. And check out Pine Tar Baseball at ttlbaseballgame.com. ttlbaseballgame.com. This set is going to be a great one, but we need your help. So please check out the Kickstarter. Tomorrow, I'll be back with video number 11 in the series for your enjoyment. Thanks again for spending some time with me. Have a great night. So long, everybody.